Hi everyone, this is Adam, and I'm here making a video to help you save some time planning out your trip to the Riviera Maya in Quintana Roo. So, uh, who wants to be spending hours and hours planning when you can actually be spending that time traveling or making money to actually travel? So, I'm making this video to uh, you don't have to spend as much time planning, and B, if you to help you have a great time there and figure out, especially with a budget and stuff to do, and some pro tips. So I'm gonna take. I flew. What I would recommend if you is flying into Cancun. It's a major international airport. Typically, is the cheapest airport to fly into, and so it's a really good place to this get your start. And in my situation, I actually had traveled into Cancun and then had travel out. So what I'm going to show you is what I did. Flew into Cancun, and I went to Valladolid so I could see Chichen Itza and some of the ruins and the cenotes. And then from Valladolid, I drove through Coba and stayed in Tulum, played the Carmen, Cozumel. I'm back up to Cancun, and then there's a little island up here called Isla Mujeres, and I stayed some nights there. So that's gonna be. I'm gonna show you how to do this. It's really simple. You get, 5, 6 different cities in one trip, one air flight, and I take buses between the rest of the places. So let's get started here. So I have as far as budget, flying in and out of O'Hare was 180 bucks. Chicago O'Hare. Hostels, I upgraded the 4-room bunk. So I spent about $409 over the 24 nights I was there. Probably spent about $350 on food, about $15 a day, another $15 a day in alcohol, entertainment, um, ruin entrance fee, tour guides, this sort of thing. And then transportation, bike rentals, probably wasn't even that much, honestly. And probably renting the bicycles was just as much as the buses, probably. And I did spend $500 in getting my open water certificate in Cozumel. Some of the greatest diving in the world is there, and I'll talk about that. So one of the things that I'm pretty sure about is the hostels I picked out. I think are the best. I spent a lot of time figuring out which hostels are pretty awesome. And one of the first things you want to do though is you can take an ADO bus out of the airport into Cancun, and from there you can walk to Hostel Mezcal. There's a few other hostels there. I don't think there is a social. There's a few that are ones that I forget its name, but it's more based for like business. Like people have computers and stuff there, and but this one's super um, social, which is great, especially if you're just flying in. It's kind of a good place to go because you're going to meet it's kind of like a lot of people are coming in and out of Cancun because of the airport, and you'll meet a lot of people that are backpackers at this hostel, and you'll be able to network with them, and it'll give you some good tips, and you can talk about the region and stuff, get a good idea of some good ideas from them. Uh, there's always the it's pretty cool. They have you events at night uh, to get people together, and they have a real nice bar. It's a pretty place. They have lager and Duseki ale for $2, US dollars. And what else? There's a really cool taco place next door to this. It's got like a tree inside. It's really hip and hipster, and it's metro. Really great food. I do recommend going to that taco place next door. It's really awesome, and so this is a good way to get your start. And then the next day, what I would recommend is get yourself to Valladolid, and that's how it's about $14 a night. The Hostel Valladolid, and breakfast is included. And what you can do is from here you can this is one place you can get up super early and get to Chichen Itza. So if you want to be at Chichen Itza while it's still empty, you probably want to stay here because it's only like 45 minutes away from Chichen Itza. And you don't want to go to Chichen Itza for take a 3-hour bus ride from Cancun, which a lot of people do, and then spend 3 hours there and take a 3-hour bus back. That doesn't sound like fun. So I do recommend here, and there's so many things that are pretty awesome about here. So I guess it's called Candelaria Hostel, and it's right by a really nice square by an old church is there, and it's really cool. So you can see there's a really awesome church, and well, there's cenotes here, so they'll rent you bicycles and you can ride. There's a cenote inside the center city even, and then you can ride your bike about 2 miles and see some other cenotes. It's about like $20 entrance fee or something like that, and they're in caves. A few of them are in caves. One of them is just like really deep in the ground, and you can just look up and you see the sky still though. So that is pretty cool time. And it's Mayan. This is a Mayan city. It's the first city the Spanish created, but so it's got a lot of history, but it's also really authentic Mayan city as well. So the food and people speaking Mayan, and it's just a really authentic, Mayan city. So lots of shops and people. It's really interesting. You can also get to Ekbalam here, which is another ruin, and it's actually a ruin that's always empty. So you have it's a pretty big ruin. They have there's a tomb of some famous Mayan leader there. There's a lot of actually a lot of cool stuff there, and there's even a cenote that's within walking distance of the ruin, so you can check out the ruin and then cool off in the cenote, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, and then if you go on the weekend, if you end up there on the weekend, there is a really cool place to do salsa. They have really good salsa dancing in Valladolid, and it's on your way towards the people will know there's not a lot of things to do there, so if you bring up salsa, they'll tell you where this place is. And so yeah, I do recommend it. Really nice, cool colonial architecture, serious, Mayan culture, and then the cenotes and then the ruins. So it's pretty. I liked it a lot. And then from there, you're gonna switch things up. You're gonna go to Tulum, back to the coast. This is gonna be more of your really big hipster type, trendy uh, people with lots of money tend to be on the beach. I like to, you probably want to stay, if you're watching this video, you probably want to stay in Centro. That's kind of where the young party people are. There's a big electric fest in, February or March that you might want to plan your trip to be at, because I hear it's really awesome. And then when I first got to this hostel, it was just like totally banging, like tons of girls dancing, and it was just a huge party. So actually a really cool city. You'll see lots of people you'll see the mines in their bars spilling out in the streets dancing. You'll see other bars spilling out into the streets. They'll have rooftop bars. They have electric. They have salsa. They have restaurants, and it's kind of like it's like almost like it runs till like 4 a.m. So it's a big party type of place, and it's actually a lot of fun. Of course you get to see the ruined Tulum ruin there, and they have like some really trendy restaurants and like vegan restaurants and all kinds of interesting stuff like shops. And they have cenotes too. There's a lot of cenotes in Tulum, so you can. I think it's definitely a cool place, Tulum. And then Playa del Carmen. Not gonna. I guess this hostel 3B I stayed at. There's a Sunday party. Typically, I met the guy, and he who owns the place, and he's really into electric, and he'll throw like these EDM parties on Sunday that are supposed to be a really big deal. There's also a few clubs on the boulevard where you can go to, but this is kind of like the same category. Playa del Carmen, same category Cancun, where it's totally like touristy, expensive, like people trying to sell you something like constantly. It's not. I mean, it's something you probably it gets kind of old after a little bit, especially if you're a backpacker. It's like the Disney World of Mexico, kind of just a big mall. Playa del Carmen. It's kind of cool for a day. You can walk, 3 or 4 miles, and it's just restaurants, shopping for a huge 3 or 4 mile like mall, pretty much. But so I wouldn't spend a lot of time there. Maybe one night, maybe two if you meet some for good friends. There is a really cool hostel around the corner here. It's upstairs, um, and I would try to make some friends there. You'll probably make cooler friends than at 3B, although I wouldn't stay at the hostel around the corner because the conditions are not as nice. um, but yeah, this is some of their pictures of the party here at 3B, and you'll see and it's right toward the other hostels, like towards the port towards Cozumel. And if you walk towards it, you'll hear the music upstairs, and you'll see there's a restaurant on the bottom, and you'll hear the music. There's always like something going on up there. So, and even if you don't stay at the hostel, you can go up there, and you tend to meet like some really authentic like backpacking Mexicans and that sort of thing. And you can drink up there, and then I think so. I kind of met some really cool people at that hostel, and then I kind of partied here on Sunday. Uh, if you do, make sure you do book your room here Sunday night, because then you get into the Sunday party free. This 3B, and then so let me see. And then from here, you know, there's this best friend hostel is really cool. It's in Cozumel, so you take like a $5-7 ferry from Playa del Carmen to Cozumel, and I spent there's some really good clubs and dancing and stuff there. I was spending my time diving, and it was incredible. Just like miles and miles of coral. There's a drift, so you get in the water, and the drift will actually take you through like a mile of coral, and it's just like a mountain of coral, and it's so colorful. The fish, you see octopus, shark, um, lobster, all kinds of funny fish, and it's really incredible. You can and there's like there's so many different dive shops. Typically it's like $80 a dive for 2 tanks, so an hour a piece pretty much, and you used to get some really amazing, some of the best diving in the world actually. um, so I like this hostel. You'll meet some good people here. There's also always a buy one get one free deal every day, so you can that kind of and the food is really good. The staff's fun. So it was amazing. I spent how little money I spent because I was always getting to buy one get one free. They have one every day. So the drinks and food. So I do recommend this place. It's a really good deal. Very comfortable. Uh, very good place to. Really good hostel, I think. And from there, and there's also a really nice bakery too. Right around this hostel, so you can get like some really good baked goods as you on in the morning or something. Um, anyways, lastly, I'm gonna talk about Pakna. It's in Isla Mujeres, so it's you take the ferry back to Playa del Carmen. You get on the bus, and it takes you through Cancun. You get off in Cancun. You walk towards the port. Uh, in the port section, there's another port there, and it'll take you to Isla Mujeres. And Isla Mujeres is a really awesome small little island. It's the island of the woman. It's the first. It's where they say the sun first rises in Isla Mujeres because it's the farthest east of Mexico, and this is almost like a resort. You get, and I'll tell you why. You get breakfast, and then they have and then they have like they have some entertainment during the day, like volleyball or dance lesson or uh, you know they had a tightrope, like a tightrope you can walk on at tea class, and then they have an entertainer around 6 p.m. and then they have a band. Then they have dinner. You can get a barbecue dinner around 7 or 8, and then while that's going on, and then they have like a band at 8 o'clock inside, and then at around like 10 or 11, they'll have this huge. And what it's really popular for is this like dance party outside in the on the beach because the hostel is on the beach, which is really awesome. And so you'll be on the beach, and they have like a dance floor on the beach that they built, and then the palm trees. It's really just beautiful and great music. And if you like to dance, it's a great place to dance. Uh, there's so many beautiful people that'll be there. And then you can, if you do get bored or something, you can walk right outside the hostel, and it's on the side of the island where all this stuff's going on. So you can walk like a block or two, and then you'll have like 5 or 6 more bars to check out, anytime. And then there's a really nice vegan restaurant right outside, and so and then there's like if you walk towards the beach, you can walk around the beach, through the rocks and sand, and there's all kinds, and it's very beautiful. So place. It's one of the most just it's amazing the value you get here for $18 a night. It's really is like a resort. Um, so that's pretty much it. That you get extra credit if you. I did hear a lot of people talking about the another some places farther south, Chatamal and Bacalan. So you can go down south and see all that kind of stuff. So good luck. Have a great time. Bill.